Hope everyone is seeing. So we are started bringing a lot of initiatives as part of the Cloudnloud cancer vision. So the person who is going to present it today, he is very senior, and you can also connect with him. This is his LinkedIn profile. Pushparaj, you can have a connect. And you also have any queries or anything, feel free to submit in the LinkedIn group, technical group. And you can also reach out to me. My profile, almost everyone aware. And also I created all events, all initiatives in LinkedIn page, Cloudnloud page. And if you have any information like good training or link or documents or any issue you are facing, please feel free to submit in the technical group, so that we are keep inviting many people so that we can have healthy argument over there. And I'm planning to introduce a lot of initiative in upcoming weeks, like one is the job and the exam simulation playground. And also there is a another initiative I'm bringing in for technical, whoever want to learn, you can also get a lot of vouchers to avail any playgrounds. Of course, you can participate in this community initiative also. If anyone interested, please feel free to reach out to Pushparaj as well as me, so we can guide you how to take it further. Of course, you will also grow, and we are all going to do this cancer vision together. And I'm just opening the PPT. So I'll just give a introduction so that I can hand over to Pushparaj. So most of the people are aware, right? We are started going towards automation and cloud, and it's in MQ and backend. It's going to be very crucial as part of SaaS, which he's going to explain it today. And I started this Cloudnloud last 11 years back as part of some cancer dream. And now I'm doing training, solutions, and consulting and recruitment. And his name is, of course, it's Pushparaj. He's working various DevOps projects and leading those projects also. And also he's doing a lot of re-engineering in the backend POC. Thanks, Pushparaj. I'm handing over to you. I'll give the control to you, so you can share your screen. Yeah, you can share your screen.
Thanks, Vijay. Thanks for the introduction. And, let me share my screen.
Yes, we are able to share your screen. See your screen now.
Thanks. Okay. So, able to see my screen now? Okay. So, let me introduce myself. I'm Pushparaj, and I'm 16 years experience in the IT field, and I worked various Unix platforms like Solaris and Linux, and in Linux various products, right? Red Hat, CentOS, like. So right now I'm taking care of DevOps and cloud engineering. So as part of we are doing most of the migrations from on-prem to cloud. So with that, we have also migrated our on-prem RMQs to CloudAmqp.
Pushparaj, you are sharing the another screen. You can share the first screen. We are seeing your PPT. Maybe you can minimize it. This. Yes. Yes. Yeah, you can just do a slideshow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You can continue it. Anyway, we are able to see your PPT.
With that, so what is basically AMQP and how it is started? So when we legacy, right? So RMQ is the only or the product which used for a messaging activities. So while doing so, the cloud is emerged, and that software product also want to evolve through cloud. So what they did is they have uh, put their softwares in a cloud, and they created a marketplace as a cloud AMQP. So underneath they will taking care of SaaS product, that is IaaS and PaaS. Those backend technologies they will taken care, and what we get it from that. So software, whatever the software provides us, and what we are going to utilize it. So it is in the pay as you go basis. So whatever the message you are going to consume, and you are going to pay to that, not for the infrastructure and another any other uh, unused messages, right? So when we do this migration, we see that uh, most of the organizations paying a lot more cost than they are using it in the on-prem scenario. But when it comes to that cloud, their cost optimization is easy, and if they are not going to use that, right, they can rescale that, they can scale down to the they can use it. So that consideration is very useful for us while doing the upscale or downscale when they need it. So let's come to the CloudAmqp. So CloudAmqp managed by the RMQ servers in the cloud. So RabbitMQ is an open source. They have developed it, and they have and then they are managing it to it. So here the messages, right? So each and every applications, right? They use the RMQ. Somehow they're sending their messages to their queues and to consumed by the consumers, where they can process the message, and they can communicate between the applications. So for example, if your application, right, application A is gonna give some process, it will do a messaging with this, and then that message will be consumed by another application and then do a processing. If it is not consumed, we can uh, keep that message, or else we can clear that using the TTL. So at some point we have to clear that queues, right? If it is not consumed, if it is not consumed, we have to clear it, or else it will be piled up, and we unnecessarily pay more amount since the queue is full. If it get full, or there will be a mess if completely full. So we'll have to make scale up, or else we'll have to take a backup of that and then create a new CloudAmqp, and then we have to migrate to that one. If before filling it, we'll have to make sure that we are clearing the queue. That is the one part we have to more cautious in this CloudAmqp when we do a provisioning. So first we have to check what we needed, or how much message we are going to consume, and what is the requirement with our application. That is main. And come to that CloudAmqp instance creation. So in Azure, right? So we have marketplace. So in that marketplace we have CloudAmqp is a service. It's a software as a service. In that, if you click that one, we get into that subscription. So I'm taking you to that home page, and then we'll create an instance over there. So CloudAmqp. Okay. So this is the home page and project details you'll have to give. So here I'm giving the subscription one, and here let's take it as test one. See, it depends on your project. You can name the resource group and stuff, right? So which location you would like to host. So sometimes we have to check for the cost parameter, or if it is Europe, we have to be in Europe, and if it is in US, we can have it whichever the location you want. It can be East US or West US. In our case, I'm going to take East US because it's a testing one. So what is SaaS we can give? So I can give CloudAmqp, and here is the plan, right? So it's a roaring rabbit which have the high performance, the availability, but in our case we are not going to do with this high availability, because this is 3 node high availability will cost more, 66,000 it costs. So I'm going to do a change plan. So SASE scroll will be very less, and then so you can check this, right? So how many nodes, and what is the maximum message, and what are the maximum connections you can enable, and then upgrade from one plan to another plan, right? So these are all the available plans you can see, and depends on your volume or volume of message you are going to consume or you are going to use. Accordingly, you can choose this plan. So in this case, I'm taking SASE, and then you can create a tag if you want, and value you can give 1 or whatever. When you do casting, right? So you can directly take that tag. If it is QA or development test, with that tag you can make it, and also you can tag with the team names. That will be helpful for us when we search for a casting, right? So I'm doing the subscription now. So once the process is complete, then we'll have to configure the CloudAmqp account. So while doing so, we can watch some other stuff. Okay. So once we complete, right, the screen, it will take to the configure now. So let's take around 2 to 3 minutes or so. So how many of you or anybody have any questions? Yeah, now it is, the subscription is completed, and now we can do a configure the account. So configuration part we started, and then we can which region this is going to be. East US, and we can activate this. So even we can have this versions, right? You can update even after you plan. So somehow you need to scale up. So there you can do a upgrade instance. Then it will show you what are the plans available here. With that, you can make it change. And I think now our cluster is now bootstrapped. So it take another 5 minutes to start it back. So these are all the details. So exotic, golden RAM, right? These are all the names and stuff taken care by the CloudAmqp team. And this is the user name it automatically created while starting it. So these details we can't give, but however we can do it our personalized accounts and users and with our project related, we can do it afterwards once the node is up, right? Also we can have node availability, so not yet ready. We can, once it is ready, we can see all those details and how much message consume and everything. You can see it here in metrics and diagnose. If at all any issues, you can check it in the diagnose thing, right? And logs, the running logs will be comes under this section. And firewall, you can restrict with the whitelisting. The particular IPs only communicate with this CloudAmqp and none other than the defined IPs. It connect to this server to secure our AMQP. This will give us the nodes, how many nodes we have and what are the node names and what is the status. And webhooks, how we are going to integrate with other products or stuffs. So integration also we can do it with the logging mechanism, or if you want to make this to any other monitoring stuff, you can add with this, integrate with this. And configuration part, it's normal. What is heartbeat and everything will be configured here. Even we can change the values accordingly. If you want, you can change it anytime. But one thing we'll have to very careful on this. While creating vhost, if it is in production, you will have to enable HA proxy to it, because there are 3 nodes available. The node wise it will be HA proxy, that is high availability is enabled, but vhost underneath we are creating vhost for each project or each messaging mechanism which we are going to create. That is not high availability. So in case of any node down, then our messaging won't be passed, or it might get corrupted and it may get lost. We had such scenarios happen because of the HA proxy and not enabled for the vhost. So we'll have to be careful when we configure production. Since this is a single node cluster, we are not enabling that policies right now. Still it's the progress, so it take around 5 minutes. Vijay, if anyone have anything, any questions, I think I can answer. Really, anyone have any questions, can put it in the chat, I can answer it. Yes, RabbitMQ itself have having this cluster options, which means that RabbitMQ, if you say that, it will be a on-prem cluster, right? But there also you'll have to enable HA proxy for the vhost setup, and messaging stuff won't be gone away when it is if at all any issues with the node. If any node broken, right, then the message in that node is getting lost. That's how we have experienced last month. So node by there are two cluster options. One is node HA proxy and vhost is HA proxy. The policy is updated, then we are good. If any node goes down, the messaging policies will take care of the HA proxy, HA policies. So high availability, and it will continue to through the messages to the applications. So any other questions? In the meantime, like this. Okay, what is the use case? Okay, so CloudAmqp as is a cloud hosted RMQ service, right? You don't have to bother about your hardware. What is the hardware? What is the platform which you are going to use? Or you don't have to worry about anything. You just use this software on the go as an internet. Just go to your Azure or any other cloud platform, and you can adopt your CloudAmqp from the marketplace. Right now we are showing in using in Azure, right? So irrespective of infrastructure cost and managing cost, right, that will also come down. Even developer or even anybody can host this one, and all the developers need is these details to connect with this RMQ. So if we provide these details to them, they will connect, integrate with this product, and then they will do their message processing and flowing and everything in this. So basically, we don't have to worry about anything. If you have on-prem, you will have to patch the server and you will have to take a downtime, right? That we don't have to worry about in the cloud. So when we had a on-prem, we used to intimate the customer 7 days in advance, and then we'll have to do any activity on this RMQ. Right now, it's not that case. So if even it is production, we can easily taken care. And other than that, even if it is Log4j, right, we don't get affected with this vulnerability on this CloudAmqp, because cloud team taken care of this underneath infrastructure and other stuffs. So we don't have to worry about anything at all as part of vulnerabilities too. All we can do is just use when or how much load you want, or how much message you are going to use with this. That's right. Okay, now it's on. So you'll have to click on the RabbitMQ manager. So it will take you to the next slide. This is the typical RMQ homepage. Even on-prem, this if you check on the URL, it will be like this only. So the infrastructure part they have taken care, and we got this RMQ manager for us. So this is the overview. So if any application is running behind, we can see the queued message, how much messages it is in queue, and the message rate, and the last minute, right? Even you can see the details of the message, what is the disk read and write, and how many connections you made, and how many exchanges and the queues and then consumers. If the message is not consumed, even that can be tracked down in this RMQ manager. So here, right, this is a virtual host we have, and this is the all virtual host whichever in our queues. So we can click on the administration, we can see the virtual host, how many virtual hosts, right? So this is the default virtual host, which is slash, that is root, and then this is the virtual host which is created while you provisioning this setup. So then we can create our own virtual host, right? Depends on our project, and the name you can give test.test1, and then description, what that is project, which project you are you're going to use, and tag can be used when you need it, right? So you can click on the add virtual host, so it is added, and then even you can view this virtual host details, right? Here some of the permissions we'll have to set. If this dot star, right, you are giving permission to this admin, and if you don't, if you are restricting this permission, right, you can have these permissions set according to your need. And this is the future flags you can set, that is when you want to do a matrix, right? So these future flags can be used. So these flags developers can take care, and we don't have to worry. That is, in my perspective, it's infrastructure. We just create the instance, and then we give them parameters which they require, and then they get used, and they integrate with their code, and they do their part. And policy, right? This is the policy which I'm talking about. This is HA which is we have to enable if it is production. If it is not added, then our virtual host won't come under this policy. Here HA policy modes, right? We can even if we can't test one, then name, right? We can do. We have to give this name for this, and then pattern we'll have to give, and we can use the same. This will enable complete full access. Completely we are giving this access. So what we are going to do this exchange and queues, both we need it, because exchange also must be high available, because if it goes wrong, the messages will be corrupted, or it will lost. So priority we will have to set how much priority you want. So the default for a root is 0, and then 0 9 -9 for a default virtual host as. So we can prioritize with -11. So we are even more prioritizing it. So definitions we can create with HA proxy, HA mode, and pattern, and sync mode automatic. So or else even here we have 60,000 TTLs you can you can create it, and you have all those variables here. Depends on the developer's requirement. They give us the requirement. With that, they used to give these parameters, definitions, and all. The limit, the virtual host limit, right? We can give this limit. How many connections are max connections, max queues? How many queues you have to enable for this virtual host? Even you can create more number of virtual hosts than to put all those messages in one queue. Even you can have another, if you have another project comes in, you can create another virtual host and you can give those details to that project, and you can do a administration of it. And here is the cluster part. It doesn't have enabled, right? So you don't have to worry about it, because the name right now we have is run. But if it is 3-node cluster, we definitely need this name, but not right now. But if you want to scale up, right, then this name we can use. Even if it is a single node cluster, then this node will be the same name. And the federation status, this federation, right, it can be used when you do a migration from on-prem to CloudAmqp. So the federation client package is there, that needs to be installed in our on-prem server, and then we'll have to enable to this CloudAmqp. During that time, from on-prem server IP, right, that needs to be whitelisted in this server, and then we'll have to federate. So whatever the messages we have it in our on-prem, that will moves to comes to our AMQP. So we don't lose any messages or anything while doing migration. There might be some blip or some latency, but it's flawless. When we migrated, it was flawless, and we don't have any issues at all when we did this federation. So federation upstream is you can parallelly pass the messages from on-prem to your AMQP with this URLs and stuffs. You can create your users, right? So we have created our views, right? So you can add, and which user or what would be the virtual host you can use it. So here we have our this username, default username, right, that taken care of this virtual host. Even you can create that under our okay, we can create this user and then password. User, and go to this user, and which virtual host you want to assign, you can assign. Then you have given this full access to this user. Now you can right. So your username is test, and the virtual host name is test1, and then you can give these details to a developer to access to this site. the read-only permission, and if even you can give admin access. It's according to your company policy whether developers have the read access or write access. It depends on your company. So it's a very small session which I took, and that's how we have it here today. So if you want more Vijay, if you want,
yes, actually there is a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So can you just open a chat so that we can you can answer a couple of things, but to everyone, if you can just submit your queries in the LinkedIn technique group, so everyone can see every time. There is a person he's asking, RabbitMQ is open source, right?
Yes, it is. RabbitMQ is open source, and open source can be managed in cloud, but you have to procure one VM, and then you'll have to install the RabbitMQ in that VM. After that, managing part you'll have to take care. But we'll have to take the infrastructure too if you want to manage that RabbitMQ in your under the infrastructure side. So if you use this CloudAmqp, then it is robust, and you don't have to worry about underneath the technology or whatever the that is the power of SaaS, right? So
okay. So there is another question, what is the difference between RabbitMQ with Kafka?
Okay.
People are asking these days many Kafka related.
Yeah. See, since I'm not much knowledge on Kafka, but still, RabbitMQ is a messaging service and Kafka is a messaging service, but Kafka is more and more used in big data part. When they handle the data in most, right, that time the Kafka they are using it, not for a web host applications, web applications. They don't prefer Kafka. That's all I know. Because RabbitMQ is easy to handle, and even for a tiny, right? But Kafka, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Kafka is mainly used for the big data purpose.
Yes.
But there is a Kafka, mostly you can use message ordering kind of a partition. And Kafka is mostly you can set a log message lifetime, and which means the messages are always there. You can manage via your own rule, as well as you can go with many Kafka if you are using cloud, then and your project expectation is going to handle a lot of big data, then Kafka is going to be the choice. But RabbitMQ, if you want to have some specific queue and handle all your backend message throttle, then you can even choose for RabbitMQ. Even in RabbitMQ, even message priorities also is possible, but in Kafka it's not possible, especially.
Yes, and one more thing, when I check with RabbitMQ when we are using it, right? So one team processing this messaging, the another team is consuming it. In between, one more team is consuming the same message, and that they processing that message, and they are using it for some other purpose. See, single message, they are doing some ordering. With that ordering, the message is completed, right? The message from source to destination is consumed, and then it is completed. However, their another team is intermediately analyze team or any other machine learning team can take that message, and then they can process and what is the order, and they can with that they can even do a analysis on that. Even they can repurpose it that messages.
And quickly, I will also share my screen because people want to get a more clarification.
Okay.
Confirm whether you are able to see my screen. I hope everyone is seeing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Srinivas, actually, Kafka is mostly, say, for example, in last week, cloud in DevOps internship, I have explained about data, right? So, especially these days, if your expectation, project deliverable expectation is going to be like a stream processing, then Kafka is going to be the first choice. Because so you need to decide what kind of a message you are going to handle as part of the end deliverable. Then the Kafka is coming into picture. The RabbitMQ something you need to decide kind of a specific backend. Like if you want to have, say, your transaction is failed, then you need to retry the transaction with backend support. Then of course RabbitMQ is there in more years from beginning. So Kafka is more robust nowadays with respect to data related streaming. So and also I would request everyone to put your queries in the LinkedIn technical group. Even you can start share all your files, all your good courses, or if you come across any free playground. That is the main reason I started this initiative. So you can share. Of course, it will helpful for many people under your name. So even if you want to participate this Cloudnloud Cancer dream, so you grow and give a hand together. Probably we'll meet in upcoming sessions. Thanks everyone. Thanks Pushparaj.